I guess, where do you think Nick kind of stands? I know it's going to be the big story this weekend.
I mean, I believe hopefully he's in a great spot. He's been wrestling really, really well. He's got a lot of rest. He's used these last couple of weeks to kind of get his body back and feel good and wrestle hard. And he showed that the last 3 or 4 times out. So again, this is a totally different animal, right? A better opponent, a really #1 guy in the country. Hopefully he's up for that challenge. I know we look forward to it, and it's a great opportunity. So,
what have you seen out of his opponent on film?
Just can score. Yeah, Micic can score from a lot of different positions. He's really, really good on his feet. Different kind of style, like kind of almost like a European type style. So he's clever, he's crafty, he's very, very good.
Senior day on Sunday. Just what is Anthony and Nick, guys like those, meant to your program and just how they've grown it?
Those guys have, well, Anthony in particular has meant the world to this program. He's been the face of this program. He's been everything we've ever wanted. He's a 3-time All-American. He deserves this day. It's important, just like Johnny Van Brill and Nick Gravina. And I know Ralphie didn't have the career he probably wanted based on injuries. But these guys mean a lot. They mean a lot. They're so much more than just wrestlers to us. They, what they bring off the mat, and what Gravina and Ashnault have done to this university, not just this wrestling program, but this university as a whole. It's given us and wrestling, our program, just such a spotlight because of who they are as people, and the same for Johnny and Ralphie. So they deserve this. They've been great ambassadors for Rutgers wrestling, just great people on and off the mat in the community around the state of New Jersey. So it's great we get one last chance to celebrate them at home in front of this crowd.
Anthony was obviously a big recruit. Comes in, has a great career, 3-time All-American, Big Ten champion. How do you use that on the recruiting trail? Tell these big-time kids that you can come to Rutgers and.
Well, he's so well known. He's so well known to begin with, so everybody knows who he is, and we're going to keep him around our program, which is obvious, and we're excited about that. But yeah, he's a topic of our recruiting talks. There's no doubt about it, and just the type of kid he is. And the way his parents, the way he was brought up by his parents, and it's everything you want. It's the poster child for what you want a student athlete to be, and that's we feel very, very fortunate that he chose Rutgers.
Coach, at 141, you've had obviously Pete Lipari a lot this season, a little bit of Mike Van Brill. What's the decision-making that goes into that? And for the postseason, who do you expect to be there?
Well, it's a good question. I'll clear it up. For me, it was a gut feeling for Princeton. Mikey's been sitting out. Mikey's won a lot of big matches for us in years past, last year, and we were hoping maybe we'd find a little bit of that magic and come back, and it would be a really good outing for him against Princeton. It didn't work out that way. So that was a gut feeling that coaches, you look for a spark. And I know Peter's wrestled all the good guys and had all the big battles, and he fought through them. And maybe that was a mistake on my part. I just felt Mikey was ready to go. As it turns out, it's not a great weight for Mikey. That being said, Pete's our guy. Pete's going to be our guy going forward. He's our 141-pounder. He'll represent Rutgers at the Big Ten tournament. He deserves that. He's wrestled his way into that role. He's had a really, really good year. Now he's starting to come on now. He's starting to get a couple wins. He's starting to be dangerous. Huge test Sunday, of course. Again, #6 guy in the country in Cannon Store. And then we got to get Maryland and ready for the Big Ten tournament. But Pete's excited right now. He's done more wrestling this year than he's done in the last 3 years past. So he's in a good spot. But that wrestling Mikey against Princeton was a coach's decision, was a gut feeling that just felt we needed a spark and maybe a matchup thing, and it didn't work out. So going forward, I think Pete was going to be our guy, but now Pete solidifies he's our guy, and it's just based on how he's been wrestling.
84, I know you probably have decisions to make, but how good is it to see Nick kind of get back and win? See that he's holding up.
Yeah, he's holding up. That's right now. That's what we're just trying to get him through. It's been very, very difficult. There's no secret at 184. We're just really injured, and there's no way around it. We gotta try to manage it, and whether it's Gravina and whether it's Willie or who knows who we put there, but we got to try to get Nick through and get him as healthy as possible for the Big Ten tournament, whether that's wrestling Sunday or not, whether that's wrestling against Maryland or not. We just have to get him through because he deserves that opportunity. And we got guys really, really banged up, and you won't see Willie this weekend for sure. And you probably won't see Willie against Maryland either. So that's kind of where we're at as a program, and we just don't have the bodies right now. We're going to try to put somebody in there, and we'll figure it out. But right now, I wouldn't anticipate seeing Willie the rest of the regular season for sure.
Is that something that maybe you guys have to, as a staff, decide who's going after Maryland?
Yeah, well, I don't think so. I think right now at this particular, if you ask me, you're asking me today.
So it would be Nick now?
It would be Nick today. Yeah, I'd say it would be Nick Gravina today because it's what he wants. When Nick tells me it's time to shut it down, we'll shut it down. But right now he's still his goal is to be an All-American. He wants to go to the Big Ten tournament and the national tournament. So right now it'll be Nick Ravina's goal for the Big Ten championships.
Glasgow this week, yes?
You won't see Glasgow Sunday, no. Still, until he's ready to wrestle and compete at 100% where he doesn't go to his knee for whatever reason, then we won't wrestle him. And we're just not there as a staff right now to see that.
Is that still better?
It'll still be better, yes.
Coach, at this point in the season, everyone's obviously a little banged up. It's the
part of it.
It's a hard part of the season. Last 2 matches heading into the postseason. What's the mindset got to be with your guys? Heading into the postseason, and what do you preach being mentally tough?
Well, I don't think we're looking at the postseason right now. We got 2 real big duels coming up from program standpoint. It's all about Sunday. There's some really good individual opportunities and matchups for Sunday. That is our focus. That's our focus. That was our focus since we got off the plane in Indiana. And we've done some things different this week as far as giving guys a couple days off and rest, and that's really an important part of training. But that's been our focus, is to get our guys as healthy as possible, but still let them compete and train at a really, really high level, if that makes sense, And I think right now, other than the injuries we talked about, our guys are looking good and feeling good and excited about, again, another opportunity Sunday. But we're not looking towards the Big Tens. We've got to worry about these next 2 duels coming up. First Sunday, then next Friday, and then we'll have some more time to settle in, have a great training cycle, and then get after it for the Big Ten tournament.
I know it's kind of old news now, but where did that Purdue win rank for you? I think it's up there with your biggest wins since joining the league conference.
Yeah, it was a good win. People don't understand how hard it is to go on the road in this conference and do it on a Friday, Sunday, and not knowing who you're going to have, when you're going to have them, if it's all going to work out. Who knows what happens? You wake up on Sunday morning and guys can't go, and that's a lot of adversity we went through there, and just the way our guys handled it, truly professional, went about it in a great way. It was a big win Friday. We talked as a staff and as a team, really, as a team Sunday, and it was about winning the weekend. And it was, on paper, maybe it's one we don't get, but then, things happen. Things happen with their 125-pounder. It's part of the sport. It's an injury, and our guy took advantage of it. Won his first Big Ten duel this year. So things happen. It was a good win for us. It's a good win because it gives us a really good opportunity to be over 500 in this conference, and that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. So it's a big win for us going forward. Now we just got to back it up, and we got to wrestle really, really well. That's what I'm looking for, is really a great effort these next 2 duels.
Back in the Cliff Peen tournament, Micic didn't wrestle against Nick. He didn't wrestle in the tournament for whatever reason. What do you think that does for Nick, as far as motivation? And is there any way you see Micic not wrestling Nick this on Sunday?
He's a competitor. I'm sure he's going to want to wrestle, and he sat out for a reason. I'm sure he was hurt, and obviously Nick goes there for those kind of matchups, but it wasn't meant to be. That's no fault to the guys from Michigan or whatever the case might be. He was hurt. So this is an opportunity. As you fast forward 2 or 3 months, whatever it is, he's now the #1 kid in the country. And I'm sure Nick looks back, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, but I'm sure he looks back at what Anthony did a couple weeks ago and wrestled the #1 guy in the country. This place will be fired up for it. Something special about the rack, and he'll have a big home crowd behind him, and hopefully he wrestles a really, really smart match and a really intense match, and one that's high pace and with a lot of energy, and is able to score a bunch of points and come out on the winning end of it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because we're going to have to run it back here, whether it's DeSanto, whether it's Micic, whether it's RBY, whether it's a really good weight class. We're going to have to run it back here in a couple weeks, and I'm sure Nick knows that, and our staff knows that.
Well, how helpful is it knowing that he's probably going to run into some of these guys in the NCAAs to have to face them in the regular season?
Yeah, it's good. You want to get a feel, especially for this guy. You probably want to get a feel. It's probably good to wrestle him more than once because of the type of wrestler he is. So yeah, it's a great point. It's good to get a feel of these guys, and these are big matches. Big Ten tournament for national seeding, and of course the national tournament. These are high level matches against some of the best guys in not only in our country but the world.